All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Happy versus 120. This game taking place here on Autumn Leaves. All right, not quite sure what happened there. A little pop-up. All right, let's go ahead and break things down in this undead mirror match. 120 spawning under the name Finally over here on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom left, we have Happy spawning as the yellow undead. Undead versus undead mirror match, and well, things are going to be getting underway. Looking forward to this match very much, as perhaps two of the biggest names in undead going up against each other head to head. Kel probably a good well, there's actually a lot of undead players now that I think about it. But, well, two players that I haven't gotten to cast in quite a while, at least in a head-to-head matchup. Happy opening things up. Looks like he will be going either for a Death Knight or maybe a Lich first, but I would assume that Happy really wants to go for that earlier Death Knight, as that is his bread and butter. And no, Happy is going to be going for a Lich first, and 120 is the one going for that, well, Death Knight first. So okay, doing a little bit of a change on me right there, as things are now getting underway. What can we expect to see in this 1v1 matchup? Happy opening things up once more with that Lich first, and will be getting most likely that Dark Ritual as that second ability. Also, with access to that Tomb of Relics for that all-important Rod of Necromancy, he should be able to start sacrificing those skeletal minions to try and just start blasting with more and more Frost Novas. The question is going to be, how is he going to transition away from this? Is he going to be perhaps going for Crypt Fiends, or perhaps going for some other type of unit? Happy already on the move now. There you can see ghouls purposely dropping off their lumber and now heading out to battle. Rod of Necromancy has been picked up. Meanwhile, off to the north, Death Knight going after this Forest Troll Berserker, absorbing a little bit of damage on that Death Knight right there, using that Death Coil to make short work of some of these targets, and perhaps going to use that second Rod of Necromancy charge here in just a moment as well. Coming back around on the far side, Lich doing a good job trying to clear up some of these creep camps. He did pull off a lot more ghouls in order to do a little bit of creeping, so that's the reason why he's done with that creep camp slightly faster, even though he was, well, a little bit later out of the gates. Coming back around at Death Knight now, is still doing a little bit more creeping as well, going after the Goblin Merchant Shop. It seems as though Happy or 120 trying to make their way over there. Instead, Happy is going to be the one to go ahead and clear out to this creep camp much more quickly, still using the Rod of Necromancy fairly effectively, and now going to be going after this Sasquatch here. Sasquatch down to 400 some odd hit points. Death Knight may try to come by and get this last final blow here, as we are now looking at the Acolytes now making their way over. Big Frost Nova onto the Death Knight. Death Knight absorbing quite a bit of damage, as now the Sasquatch is going to be free to just continue to attack all across the board. Lich does have Dark Ritual. Is he going to try and Dark Ritual get in a little bit there, get the Death Coil onto a skeletal minion? As it looks like, as we are looking at more damage still getting racked back up here. There's a big Frost Nova trying to finish off more units there, and Happy down to 30 hit points, now gets a Dark Ritual off, and now has to be extremely careful as the Death Knight trying to get within range of that Sasquatch here. Lich could continue those attacks, has to be extremely careful, kind of try and back away, picks up a Circlet of Nobility, picks up a Scroll of Town Portal, and now Happy is in a bit of trouble. But no, I take it back, was able to kill off that unit there, and then how was he able to head back here? Uses the Scroll of Town Portal, finishes things off, and now uses a Dark Ritual Dagger and gets up to level 3. That was a crazy series of events right there. Didn't even realize that 120 lost his Death Knight, level 1 Death Knight falling, and now we're going to see another Claws of Attack +5 on that Lich with +12 attack, and now also with those Boots of Speed. The auto attack of that Lich already very dangerous. Meanwhile, tech to tier 2 nearly done on both sides. Death Knight now back out onto the battlefield as the Death Knight ready to launch into another attack again. Now, as the Lich continues to use those Dark Rituals very, very heavily, he should be able to put in some pressure. That level 2 Frost Nova should really be racking up a lot of damage there. The Death Knight absorbing quite a bit as well, down to 258 hit points. Going to try and double back around as the Lich is going to be able to get in a couple more auto attacks. You can see that plus 12 damage. Finishing off that Death Knight for the second time, and that time the Death Knight was still only sitting at level 1. Lich now sitting at level 3 here, trying to finish things off more and more. Gonna perhaps use some more Dark Rituals once again as the Lich continuing to battle things up, trying to rack up more damage onto another Crit Fiend down to 50 hit points. 2 more auto attacks should be enough. 1 more auto attack was enough right there as the Lich was able to get in a final shot alongside perhaps a hit from a Ghoul. Lich is now dangerously close, or getting closer and closer to level 4. And if the Lich gets to level 4 before we see anything else, that would be a great change up there. Lich currently sitting at 360 hit points. Going to go ahead and regenerate all of that. Well, Death Knight finally gets up to level 2. We're looking at a Frostwolf finally getting taken down. And finally getting, 120 finally getting his Death Knight to level 2. And that is going to be a big deal here as the Lich, with Boots of Speed, able to outrun that Death Knight with that movement speed bonus. Back inside here, Happy already teching the tier 3. I don't see a Slaughterhouse as of yet. Maybe he's trying to place that down right there as we are looking at the units continuing to battle it up. A lot of healing using that Ritual Dagger as we're looking at damage still racking up onto that Death Knight. I have very rarely seen the Ritual Dagger used so effectively in the Undead versus Undead mirror match, as that Lich is just really dealing large amounts of damage, much more than you would expect at this point and stage in the game. Lich now back out here, gonna go ahead and get easy one shot, one more final shot there as that Lich continues its quest to level 4. Back off to the north, Death Knight is sitting at level 2. We are getting up a Lich as well. Should be getting up a Death Knight as well, as both sides getting, ultimately Death Knight and that Lich as their 1-2 or 2-1 hero. And now with 120 being a little bit closer to home, we'll have that home field advantage and get that Lich out here onto the battlefield just that much more quickly. All right, Ogre Magi easily going to get taken down. It gets taken down. Tome of Knowledge going to be dropped here as we are looking at the Lich, who is still sitting at level 1. Will be staying there for quite a bit of time. Meanwhile, Lich is out here onto the battlefield using a potion of invisibility, also has a staff of teleportation, and the Lich is ready to try and get some damage onto some of these acolytes. All right, where is he going to try and kill? He doesn't have an Orb of Corruption, but I do believe he is going to try and, perhaps cause a little bit of problems. There goes one Frost Nova, taking down a group of units as we use that Rod of Necromancy to summon up some skeletal minions out here as well. Acolytes need to be retrained up back once more. There goes another Frost Nova down, and another Acolyte could get taken down. We are down to one Acolyte mining, and that is it, as Happy is going to use that Staff of Teleportation to back away and teleport back home. Death Knight of Happy is now sitting at level 2, has a Potion of Greater Mana, and has also picked up Unholy Aura, to no surprise, on his level 2 Death Knight. Level 3, level 2 going up against soon to be level 3, level 2 for 120. How much time how much time is gonna elapse? That is the question, as the Orb of Corruption now on that Lich, plus 17 damage, upwards of 52 damage per auto attack hit. Death Knight does also have that Potion of Greater Mana. Curious as to why it wasn't transferred over to that Lich, as that Lich may be trying to get in plenty of Frost Novas out here onto the battlefield as well. All right, Mantle of Intelligence. That Lich is now on plus 20 damage per attack. And, the ghouls are going to be swarming as well. In comes that damage. Death Knight as seen at level 3. Lich is at level 2. So the hero levels have even upped, at least for a little while, as the units are going into a bit of a chase. Orb of Corruption removing much of the armor on that Obsidian statue, as that Obsidian statue quickly drops to 260 hit points as it backs away. Dark Ranger sitting at level 1, and that is going to be Happy's third and final hero, with Silence out here onto the battlefield. A little bit of an exchange going back and forth, but that Lich perhaps on the worst end of that battle there, taking a bit of damage as the Dark Ranger now needs to retreat back as well. All right, are we going to be looking at some silence? There's some silence going across multiple units as the Death Knight sits at level 3. Lich is absorbing quite a bit of damage, takes a Death Coil, it looked there, to try and regenerate a bit of hit points, as well as the Lich could try and blast away at the Death Knight Lich combination. Still no third hero coming in from 120. Army sizes 43 supply compared to 44. And, well, 120 does finally go for a Dark Ranger as that third and final hero. What is going to be unfolding here? The Death Knight really needs to get to level 3 for Happy, and there it goes, gets to level 3. Is the Lich going to get to level 3 for 120? That is the big question there. Once that Lich gets up to level 3, well, all bets are off in terms of hero damage there, as level 3 Frost, or level 3 does open up level 2 Frost Nova for both sides. Big Death Coil onto the Dark Ranger, full hit point heal, as both sides are continuing to battle it up once more. Inside the base of 120, ghouls are going to go ahead and run on inside. Lich, Dark Ranger continuing to rack up more damage here, as one Nerubian Tower quickly going to get taken down. Trying to go after another unit. There goes a quick Frost Nova to slow things up, as that Crypt Fiend ending up going to get padded out of existence, and now level 2 on the Dark Ranger. Scroll of Town Portal brings back 120 into the fight here, but he is currently upside down on supply, unable to train up any additional units, as he did lose a Ziggurat. Happy with a slight supply advantage overall. Also with, well, nope, not quite a hero level advantage yet. Level 2 Dark Ranger does have access to Black Arrows, but I don't believe Black Arrows is going to make that big of a difference, short of the Lich having multiple Dark Rituals to continually chain all of those Frost Novas. Back off to the north here, we see that the Ziggurats have been replaced already. Both sides sitting on one base play in no upkeep, and both sides just trying to clear out creep camps, perhaps for that little bit of an edge. We are going to be level 3, level 4 now on the Lich of Happy, who is going to be going for level 2 Dark Ritual, which does mean a lot more mana when sacrificing those lesser dark minions. Ghouls are getting taken down here. Lich now making its way off to the north. Orb of Corruption, that third another final Gloves of Haste to increase the damage there, as we are going inside the base. Finally could be the end here, and it looks as though Happy trying to put in the pressure. Is this going to be a big one-sided battle here, as Dark Rangers are going to get finished off, arrow after arrow getting flooded out? Scroll of Town Portal in a tactical retreat, but the amount of gold mined is now about 700 difference, and going to continue to grow. Or is that not 700? That is what 400 difference, and going to continue to grow if you account also for the acolytes that constantly need to be retrained to get back up into even pacing. I gotta say, 120 is doing a great job making sure that this lead that Happy has isn't growing exponentially. He is staying very much in this game, and may be able to even come out even here, as we're looking at Warsong Battle Drums, the item for 120. A very, very strong item right there, boosting overall damage. And here we are going into engagement. Anti-Magic Shell onto the Lich, as we see Banshees out here onto the battlefield trying to absorb some of the damage from those Frost Novas. Frost Nova going down onto a Crypt Fiend. Both sides battling it up. Units going to try and retreat back. 49 supply compared to 58. Happy having the big advantage there, as 120 finally getting up to level 4 on his primary hero for that faster movement speed aura. However, that's not going to make that big of a difference, as some silence has come in from Happy, shutting down enemy units constantly. Continuing to fight its way through. Death Knight now going to try and retreat. There goes another unit once again, as both sides are continuing to exchange blows. Lich sitting at level 3 for 120, but is it going to be enough to try and tip things over? 43 supply compared to 38. 120 starting to lose a little bit, but same thing for Happy, going back and forth, and this has been even trade so far. 35 supply compared to 40. Remember, Happy engaged with a larger army and still has that slightly larger army here. The anti-magic shell making a big difference, preventing a lot of the Frost Novas to go down on those heroes, as 120 now tries to retreat back with that Death Knight. 38 supply compared to 43, a 5 supply difference, as we're looking at the Lich getting in more mana once again, and now going after this Kobold Taskmaster creep camp. 38 supply compared to 43. 120. Will he be able to turn things around? army sizes still very much neck and neck, but well, nope, doesn't feel like finishing the game as he gives the GG. And that is going to be the end of the game right there. 120 losing to Happy, even though there was still a lot of Warcraft 3 to be played. And it felt like Happy had a slight advantage, but when you are going up against a player as strong as Happy, giving your opponent that slight advantage may just be too much to overcome. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.